just like an angel. It's beautiful. You're so special. I wish I was special.
What do you think about the homeless problem in Juneau?
I think it's pretty bad. I know that a lot of homeless people actually, when it's wintertime, they actually try to get in trouble so they can go stay in jail and get 3 meals a day and be warm. So I think it's pretty bad, and I think we need to do something about it.
I don't really live here, so I don't really know much about it.
I think it should be taken care of.
It seems it's a pretty, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's very common. I mean, I live downtown. I walk between here and anywhere I go, and there always seems to be, people everywhere, whether it's, sleeping in the doorways or, just around town. And, I don't know as far as the severity of it, how far it goes or what, the services they're receiving at the shelter at the Front Street Clinic or anything. So it seems to be a problem. I just don't know, I guess, how severe it is on an individual basis.
Juneau is it's the most homeless city in Alaska. And actually recently I heard that if we were to take our homeless numbers here and compare them to homeless numbers of people in LA per capita, we would actually come on top of LA.
If I could change one thing, I wish I could change the stigma a lot of homeless get. I don't think it's fair. I mean, anyone can become homeless. It's not easy.
There was a time when I was most injured from an accident which was hard for me to recover. I had a friend, a good personal friend, who took me in and essentially provided food, clothing, and shelter for me for as much as a year's time. He allowed me to recuperate as I could. I was able to engage in therapy, and sooner or later I actually had enough strength to go back and re-engage in that which I had been doing in the past. Again, boat building, boat repairs, running a business. But his helping me without asking and without qualification was something that struck me as being very Christ-like.
When we got married, I received a phone call for a woman who worked. She recognized our photo in the newspaper, and she called me to congratulate me. And she had been a client at the Glory Hole. She came on hard times, and she ate there, and she remembered us, and she remembered our cookies, and she just wanted to congratulate us.
Could you describe your agency's mission?
Our mission is to provide food, shelter, and compassion to those most in need.
The mission of TLP and JYS is to provide housing and independent living skills for at-risk youth of being homeless. We also provide case management services to help youth get involved in federal funding for like food stamps and Medicaid.
How would you describe your personal mission with regards to advocacy?
I guess having been on the streets myself, having been in a situation where I benefited from the outreach of others. It's easy for me to put myself in a position where I reach out to others now. The Glory Hole is a good venue for making contact with people who are trying to make life a better place for themselves.
Well, we're from Valley Church. My wife Peggy and I have been cooking down at the Glory Hole ever before we met. In fact, we actually met here. 93? 92?
Yeah, 92, 93.
Yeah, we got married in 93, and we've been cooking down here ever since. We come down here every third Sunday of the month.
What are some of your coworkers like?
Well, most of the folks that we hire here are patrons, because we really want to use our funds most efficiently, and we don't have a lot of them, and so we need to have people working, but we also need to train people. So that, like if we chose to do so, we could, build up a job history and get training, and then, leave the shelter and get another job.
Could you give us a walkthrough of a normal day?
Sure. So now our garden is going, and so we've just started our seeds. So now kind of the first thing is to make sure that the seeds are watered. So I do that first, and I can look around, see if there are any evident problems, and usually there's like 5 or 6 different things that people need to talk about. So then I try to have a cup of coffee or tea. So I do all the grant writing, fundraising, staff management, and it's really just the thing about it that I like, it's different from day to day.
Do you have any outside of the box ideas on how to help the homeless with no restrictions on funds?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't really think I need unlimited funds. I mean, I think we don't have homeless people in France, for instance. We have to build housing, and we have to put people in it. And building housing is good because it's good for the economy. I mean, people who build buildings here make very good money, which of course in turn helps our whole community. I really don't think we need to do any kind of out-of-the-box thinking. I think we just need to build housing, put the people in it, and, staff it with people who can provide good support services.
This is the office to Black Bear Apartments, and we have 8 apartments here. There is one live-in case manager, so he's here, pretty much 24/7. We also have a free laundry facility for the youth and our residential case manager at the very end of the hall as well. So they don't have to pay for laundry either. Our working environment's very open and very open door policy. The youth are welcome to come talk with us anytime they need something, call us when they need something. We regularly check in with youth, and we provide any services we can for them. This is one of our 2-bedroom apartments. This is where Josh stayed. So some of the problems these youth are facing coming into our program range from being homeless, obviously, to there's mental health situations, families being pretty much non-existent in some cases, just not having support or encouragement from adult figures or role models. There's abuse, neglect. JOIS does have a chemical dependency program, but they usually run 18, and then Rainforest has a chemical dependency program as well. I would say the majority of the youth coming in both the shelter and transitional living either have or have had CD problems in the past. CD issues can prevent people from getting out of homelessness, and that's why we here at TLP will house first. We house them and then we help them and get some skills, and with that positive change, the willingness to change your lifestyle comes as well.
We sort of boil it down to about 2 different things that the folks like here. And what we're doing tonight, and we do in the wintertime, is make tamale pie, cookie bars, and peaches. It's real simple. We make up fry up hamburger and onions, and then we have a big old pot that we stir in the tomato base with frozen corn and olives. You can see the cornbread mix on there. It has to bake, of course, and underneath that is the tomato, meat, onion mix. And then at 6, we go ahead and serve all the clients here. And typically we have 60 plus plates an evening that we'll serve here. People really appreciate it. In the summertime, since I work at Guide Pack, I get fresh salmon too. I go down the raceways and get fresh king, chum, silver, and we have a baking recipe that really works good.
Take one. Lights, camera. There we go.
Lights, camera, action.
Yeah.
What was it like when you first came here?
Well, I'll have to tell a little family story if it don't embarrass my wife too much. She was a charter member of the Juneau Christian Singles Fellowship.
I left Alaska for about 4 years, no, 3 years, I guess, when I came back in 1990 and became part of a Christian Singles Fellowship group. And one of the activities that I was involved in with the singles group was service, and that included cooking at the Glory Hole.
They organized a get-together at Sandy Beach that Labor Day, and got an invitation, so I thought, check it out.
I think that's when we actually started doing the third Sunday of the month, cooking down at the Glory Hole as singles group first, and then once we got married, we did it as part of his church.
And she had a bunch of activities going on. I'd always wanted to come down to the Glory Hole, not by myself, so she was cooking down here, so I joined her.
So we met at the singles. They had a big, was it Labor Day?
Labor Day, yeah.
A big Labor Day get-together at Sandy Beach, and then we had these sign-up sheets for all these what activities you wanted to participate in, and one of them was cooking at the Glory Hole, but anyway.
And my first impression was she just looked at the kitchen here and just saw how much was here, and she just put all this stuff together and made this great meal.
We cooked dinner together at the Glory Hole. In fact, Ellen Northrup was the director of the Glory Hole at the time, and she wrote us up in the Glory Hole newsletter that we met at the Glory Hole. And
yeah, she liked that romantic aspect. And all us single men were all going, this is a nice lady to get to know. And so I got to know her. Serve up. We're the Valley Church team here. We've got our tamale pie, peaches, and cookie bars. So I'll offer up a quick blessing and get going. Father, I just lift up the food you provide. Ask that you use it to nourish and strengthen us. Thank you for it. Be with each one of us as we go our ways. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, Lord.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Honey, I'll do it right.
I'll get one with just peaches on it, please.
Only peaches?
Yes, please.
Okay. You're welcome.
Good evening to you. Thank you so kindly, and to you. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have you ever been in a dangerous situation?
Actually, a year ago when they had the swine flu, somebody was actually diagnosed with the swine flu, and what we did, we actually had to prepare the food at our church.
There have been some dangerous situations, and you're always wondering if a youth will get physical. It rarely happens.
I mean, I don't know if it's a dangerous situation, but you do kind of get confronted once in a while. Like somebody runs up to you and stands right there.
You gonna eat or just take pictures? It's delicious. Is that even allowable that you can just sit here and just, take pictures of everybody?
I've never been punched or anything like that.
Do you have any frustrations within the advocacy environment?
I sometimes feel that there's just not enough that can be done, and there's always something to do. But I keep thinking of the parable of the starfish in the sea, as all the starfish are washed up on the shore, and the little boy who takes one at a time out and puts it back in the water. It's one less starfish that's in trouble today. So anytime that you're in a position to try to help someone, those efforts can be misunderstood. Sometimes through the vagaries of alcohol or drugs, sometimes just through general suspicion. I love to travel. I have a motorcycle which I ride when I have the opportunity, but generally that involves fair weather or free time. My free time seems to be at a premium given that I have a great deal of charity work and work to sustain my own income. I think the only safety precaution I take along with me is my smile, and it's funny that it's one of the few times during this interview that I've managed to think that way, but smile is the most engaging and disengaging tool in my toolbox.
What do you think about people who work with the homeless?
I think they're helpful. I mean, we should get more people to help and support, these people, because you never know where they came from. They could have had a job one day and then their house burned down and they have nothing the next, and it's really sad.
I think it's respectable.
I think I'm thankful for them.
My hat's off to them. I work for CERT, so we do some work at the Front Street Clinic, or we run the Front Street Clinic. So, I work in the dental clinic, and so the dentist that works here, he's doing work that a lot of people, wouldn't do or can do, I guess. So, I have a world of respect for all of these people.
So, what inspired us to do this video?
I don't know, what inspired you to do the video?
Well, when I first moved here, I was really into graffiti, so I went out and I looked at all the graffiti around town, and we found this place where people were living under this tarp. I was like, holy cow, what's that? And they said it was a homeless camp, and I started noticing tarp all over town, and I was like, how big is this problem?
Right, you're talking about like above the Twisted Fish or AELP?
AELP. What?
Oh, okay.
And you?
Oh yeah, I've seen stuff like that all over. Some of the images that I had gone out on solo were actually between Franklin Street and Gold Street. There's all of this grassy area. It's nothing but remnants of bottles and tents.
What would you change about the video?
I think it would have been a real advantage to be able to interview homeless people. I think if we had the chance to do the video privately, that definitely would have been a good thing to add in there. What about you?
Well, I'm hoping that not only do people hear the folks that are talking on the show, but I hope they hear the people that aren't talking.
But I'm a creep. ah, 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 ah.